Greetings, fellow dungeon delvers, and welcome to Dorans and Dragons, where we work together to come up with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition builds for your favorite League of Legends champions. Today we're building Gwen, the Hallowed Seamstress. Gwen was once a doll made by Isolde, who was a seamstress and the victim of Viego's obsession. When Isolde died, the Hallowed Mist imbued Gwen with life, giving her purpose and the ability to cleanse the Black Mist. Equipped with her creator's signature tools, scissors, needles, and thread, Gwen is taking back the Shadow Owls, spinning the Hallowed Mist to combat the Black Mist. Before we get started with the build, go ahead and like the video and hit that subscribe button so you're always notified when we release our builds. We'd like to take a minute and thank our awesome patrons over on Patreon who support us every month. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on and threading those needles. If you like our videos and want to support the channel, come join us over on Patreon today for just $1 to get access to our awesome Discord community where we talk League and D&D all day long. Alright, now let's get into it. Here's a quick preview of the build. For race, we're going with a custom lineage. Per usual, our stats are going to be determined using the standard array. For our stat priorities, we're going to max strength and dump wisdom. We do have a multi-class requirement of 13 in charisma and strength. Our leveling path is going to be levels 1 through 5 in Fighter, then we'll go over to Bard for 10 levels, and finish out the build with 5 more levels in Fighter. Gwen's passive, 1000 Cuts, will be Second Wind, Booming Blade, and Great Weapon Master. Our Q, Snip Snip, is going to come from Steel Wind Strike. Her W, Hallowed Mist, is going to be Shadow of Moil. Our E, Skip and Slash, will come from Lunging Attack. And finally we get our ultimate, Needlework, from Conjure Barrage. For race, we're going with a custom lineage, though variant human could also work. Custom lineage is going to help reflect her Pinocchio-esque origins. We'll get a +2 to our strength, skill proficiency in acrobatics, and a free feat. We're going to enhance our slicing and dicing with Great Weapon Master. Anytime you bring a creature down or land a crit with your scissors, you can use your bonus action to make another attack with them. Also, you can take a -5 to your attack roll and add 10 flat damage to your attack, which is going to help nudge those wraiths back to the afterlife where they belong. For background, we're keeping the custom train rolling, creating the Hallowed Seamstress background, which will give us proficiency in Religion, Insight, and Weaver's Tools for obvious reasons. We'll also borrow the Heart of Darkness background feature from the Haunted one. This is going to endear you to the people you encounter throughout the world, to the point where they'll fight for you if necessary. For stats, we're going with the balance you're going to need to hold those massive scissors with the standard array. Roll if you want to, just keep at least a 13 in strength and charisma for multiclassing purposes. We're going to start with a 15 in our strength to carry said scissors around and use them to slice up our opponents. We'll take charisma after that for our charm and to power our spells. Constitution will be next for our bruiser build tendencies. Then we'll take a 12 in dexterity for a pep in our step. We'll have an average intelligence and dump wisdom. For equipment, we're going to go with a greatsword flavor as our giant Hallowed Mist empowered scissors. It'll deal slashing damage just like scissors would, so it's not much of a stretch. Then we'll grab a dart to flavor as a needle for our ultimate. Alrighty, let's kick off the build with some levels in Fighter. Fighters have a D10 hit die and give us proficiency with all armor, all weapons, and shields as well. We'll also pick up skill proficiencies in Athletics and Intimidation. Level 1 fighters choose a fighting style, so we'll train up with our scissors with the Great Weapon fighting style. Whenever we roll a 1 or 2 on our 2d6s, we can re-roll them once. This is going to bump your damage quite a bit. You see a lot more value out of this fighting style with a greatsword than a great axe. And our final level 1 feature, Second Wind, is going to give us the self-heal on our passive. Once per rest, you can spend a bonus action to heal 1d10 plus your fighter level in hit points. This is another build where we're going to have plenty of fighter levels, so keep this heal in mind. Additionally, this is your standard reminder to always use this feature before you spend any hit die on a short rest. Second level fighters gain one of the best features in the game, Action Surge. This is going to let you push yourself to the limit and take an additional action on your turn once per rest. For Gwen, this is going to let you cast your ult twice in a single turn, almost replicating the 3 waves of needles. Level 3 fighters choose their martial archetype. We're going to get some magic flowing through our scissors with Eldritch Knight. Eldritch Knights gain weapon bond and spellcasting. Weapon Bond is going to connect us to our scissors, letting us summon them whenever we need them and preventing us from being disarmed with them. Spellcasting is going to give us access to cantrips and first level spells. We'll pick up the Booming Blade cantrip for the enhanced damage provided by our passive. This is going to let us strike a target and surround it with thunderous energy, dealing additional damage if the creature willingly moves from it. However, once you hit level 5, casting this cantrip will add 1d8 thunder damage to your hit regardless if they break the cage, so it'll still give us some scaling passive damage. 4th level fighters get the first ability score improvement of the build. As always, we're going to break down all of them here so you can pick and choose along the way. At Fighter 4, we'll pick up the Martial Adept feat to steal a little bit from the Battlemaster, giving us a superiority die to use once per rest on a Battlemaster maneuver. We'll pick up our E here with Lunging Attack, which is going to let you extend your range by 5 feet whenever you use a melee attack. At Bard 4, we'll round off our Constitution and Strength with a point each. At Bard 8, we're going to max our Strength with 2 points. Then at Fighter 6 and 8, we're going to bump our Charisma 2 points each time, getting us a final score of 18. Level 5 fighters gain the Extra Attack feature, letting us attack twice per attack action instead of just once. With Action Surge, we can hit 4 times, giving us a strong early version of our Q. Now that we've gotten our martial abilities down, we'll change gears and power up our mist abilities with some levels in Bard. Bards have a d8 hit die and give us proficiency with Sleight of Hand, which is important for our deft needlework. Bardic Inspiration is going to give us a pool of scaling die that we can use as a bonus action to inspire our allies. Right now it's a d6, which can be added to any attack, check, or save. The pool is as big as your Charisma mod and recharges on a long rest. You'll also pick up first level spells and cantrips. The main one we're picking up here is Vicious Mockery, which you'll mainly be using against Viego and anyone you style on. You unleash the power of all chat on your target, forcing a wisdom save. If they fail, they take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on their next attack roll. 2nd level bards learn the Song of Rest and become a jack of all trades. Song of Rest is going to let you spin some Hallowed Mist to your allies who use their hit die to heal on a short rest, and give them an extra 1d6 hit points in healing. Jack of all trades, on the other hand, is going to give us half of our proficiency bonus for any skill we're not already proficient in. Level 3 bards choose their bard college and gain some expertise. We're going to pull upon the Hallowed Mist's knowledge with the College of Lore. Choosing this college will give us cutting words and a few bonus proficiencies, as if we didn't have enough already. We're going to pick up Perception, Arcana, and Deception. Cutting words is going to give us the dark side of Bardic Inspiration, letting us subtract from our enemies' checks, saves, and attacks as a reaction. And like we said before, we're also getting Expertise, letting us double our skill proficiency in 2 skills. We're going with Acrobatics for our leaping and Sleight of Hand for our seamstress work. Level 5 bards get Font of Inspiration, letting us recharge our Bardic Inspiration die on a short rest rather than a long one. 6th level bards get a minor version of Mikhail's Crucible with Counter Charm, which lets you spend an action to spin some of your Hallowed Mists to give your allies within 30 feet advantage on saves against being charmed or frightened. As a lore bard, you'll also get some magical secrets, which will give us access to other classes' spellbooks. We'll sneak our ultimate out of the Ranger's spellbook with the Conjure Barrage spell. You're going to toss one of your needle-flavored darts, and a 60-foot cone of them is going to appear, forcing a dex save on each creature in the area. They'll take 3d8 piercing damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Remember to Action Surge, and do this again for the best feel of her ultimate. 10th level bards get another tier of expertise, and will learn another set of magical secrets. For our expertise, we're going with Perception and Intimidation, but we're not married to it, so feel free to adjust if you'd like. But for our magical secrets, we're going to pick up our W with Shadow of Moil, flavored as our Hallowed Mist, and our Q with Steel Wind Strike. Shadow of Moil is going to wreath you in the mists, turning dim light within 10 feet of you into darkness, and bright light in that same area into dim light. You'll have resistance to radiant damage, and whenever you get hit with an attack, the mist will strike back, dealing 2d8 necrotic damage. Now if your DM is cool, they'll let you swap the radiant and necrotic damage types here, but no big deal if they don't. Steel Wind Strike is going to let us flourish our scissors and then hit up to 5 creatures within range. We'll make a spell attack roll and deal 6d10 force damage on a hit. You can also teleport to within 5 feet of one of the creatures you hit if you want to, but you don't have to. Alrighty, time to head back over to Fighter for a few Eldritch Knight features. At Fighter 7, we'll get War Magic, allowing us to make a swing with our scissors as a bonus action whenever we use our action to cast a cantrip. So we can use Booming Blade as our action, then come in and cut a fool with our scissors right after. 10th level fighters get Eldritch Strike, which is going to help us land our ult. Whenever you hit a creature with your scissors, said creature has disadvantage against the next save it makes against one of your spells. So we can take advantage of that immediately by taking the attack action, landing a hit with our scissors, then action surging and casting Barrage. Alright, now that we've completed the build, let's see how we did. First, the good. Gwen excels as a close range bruiser on the Rift, and she'll be cutting up her enemies here as well. Plus, we got our Hallowed Mists in so many ways, thanks to the flavoring of our bardic abilities. Now the bad. Our armor class is atrocious because Gwen doesn't wear any armor and doesn't craft any for herself either. Feel free to pick up a set so you're not a pincushion yourself. Flavoring your bardic abilities around the tapestries you create out of the Hallowed Mists is cool, but some might consider it a stretch, so prepare for some arguments. So what'd you think? I've included a link to this build via D&D Beyond in the description below, as well as Amazon links to the books used in this build. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We have a few awesome rewards, and you get access to our great Discord community. We plan on turning out one League Champion build every week. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you on the Rift, or in the Forgotten Realms.